All right, so this video is in conjunction with a class I taught called What's a Sick Day? And in the class, what I sought out to do was to provide teachers with tools to use when they have to be out of the classroom. And I want to preface this mini lesson by saying, no one can replace you in the classroom. Um, if a teacher misses 10 days, it's the equivalent of taking a third-year teacher and replacing them with a first-year teacher as far as student development. So, and I'll provide a source for that. I'm not just making that information up. But what this can do is this can help alleviate some of the stress on the sub. It can help maintain student engagement and provide kind of a more interactive learning environment, depending on how it's used and facilitated. So what I'll do actually is I will link the PowerPoint of my lesson to the video, and the video will also be embedded in the PowerPoint of the information. So it's going to be kind of circuitous, but what we're going to do today in this particular video is I'm going to create a very simple site. I'm not going to have any design or filigree on the site, and all I'm going to use it for is hosting videos. Now you can of course design it later on, but that's not what this video is designed to do. I'm just showing you what my website would look like if I were using this particular tool, and how I would set it up for the teacher, for the sub. So the first thing you're going to do is go to sites.google.com. I've got several sites that are pre-made that I've made before, but we're going to make a new one. So I'm going to click Create over here on the left. And I'm choosing to use classic sites. You can use new sites. There's nothing wrong with that. Just in my personal preference, I'm more familiar with classic sites for one thing, and for another, there are some features that are either a little more difficult to find or actually not available in new sites. So I'm going to continue to use classic sites until some of those features are present and more accessible. So I'm going to name this one just a very simple name. This is going to be called Teacher Absence Test. It's going to generate a URL for me. Select a theme. Now this doesn't do anything to the overall look except for how things are laid out, kind of the user interface of the website. Just use a blank template. And again, you can find other videos and other tutorials for the design process. So then I want to click on Create. It's going to give it just a minute. Okay, and so this is your basic website. Now just to go over very quickly how you would edit and access this information, and we'll come back to this too, but the pencil right here is for edit. You can see edit page, and then the page with the plus sign is to create pages. Now this is the home page. This is kind of the landing page. So whenever a sub accesses this website for the first time, this is where they'll go. But I'm going to create a couple extra pages for this sub as well. So the first page I'm going to create, it's going to be called Lesson Plans. We'll leave it as a web page. We don't need any of these other ones right now. I'm going to keep it at the top level. That way it's easy for the sub to find. Click Create. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to create another page. This one's going to be called Seating Charts. Create. Again, we're not going to change any of these other settings down here. Go ahead and save it. I'm going to create another page. This one's going to be called Emergency Procedures. Create. And just because we've got to save it, and just because this might be a nice thing to do, I'm going to create a secondary page or another page called Additional, if I can spell, Instructions for Sub. Okay. All right. And so now all of our pages are created. Now it's just the act of adding your information to it. So we'll start with the home page, because once you understand how to insert information into the websites, adding things to the other pages is actually very easy. So now we're back on the home page. All right, so I'm going to click Edit. Okay, now what I like to do, and this is covered in another video, is I like to include an introductory video. And in this video, it's me as the teacher saying, all right, we're going to get started today. This is what we'll be doing, kind of thing. So I'm going to drag this window over so you can see. Okay, and then what you'll do is you'll click Insert. And then over here on the right, you have all of your Google features. You have Drive, Document, Drawing, Folder, Form, Image, Presentation, Spreadsheet, and Video. And then you also have a YouTube. So I'm going to click on YouTube, and what it wants me to do is insert the URL of the YouTube video that I want. So I'm going to copy, Control-C, go up here, paste, Control-V, move that back out of the frame, and you see you have a preview of the window of the video just to make sure that's the one I want. You can choose to change that if you want to. I'm not going to mess with it right now. And then I click Save. All right, and then you see that this grayed out frame is present. Click Save again. And so there's my introductory video. Let's see what he says.
Hey guys, so Mr. Steele here, obviously, right? This is me. You can tell I'm not in today. I told you guys on Friday that I wouldn't be making it in.
Okay, and that's it for that. All right, we'll click on the pencil again. What I like to do when I'm presenting this information for a sub is I like to have everything laid out and ready to go. So introductory videos first. Next, we're going to introduce our first 5. Okay. And so what we'll do here, now I don't have a first 5 in my current Google Drive account. Well, maybe I do. Let's see. So I'll click on Presentation. Let's type in first 5. All right, first 5 is just my name for bell ringer. So we'll click on that one. All right, save. Again, you have a grayed out box, Google Presentation. Okay, and so if I was the sub, I would come in and see, oh, okay, so this is the order that we follow. So we have an intro video right here. Here's the first 5 that the students will participate in. Okay, so that's that. And you can see you can insert videos into your slides. So it might be a good idea to insert a timer video, like a 5-minute timer, so they can read the question and get to work. Okay, all right. Insert another horizontal line. This is just to separate the information. Intro to activity. Okay, and so I'm going to drag this back over, find the video that I want. Okay, you see I have several. So what I used to do actually is make playlists. And so this is the after first 5 video. We don't need to hear that. I'm going to click the URL, drag it back over here, insert, go back to YouTube, paste, save, insert, horizontal line. And so you can see now I'm following this process of inserting different things. Okay, so this is after the first 5, so this is the intro to the activity. Now I'm going to actually insert the activity. So I'll go to Drive, Document, and this way it's embedded in the website, and the teacher, the sub that's actually there, can review the document with the students. They can see it digitally on the website, and then they can review the information. All right, I'm going to search for a 20-minute timer. This will work. This is fine. Nothing fancy. Copy that, because you'll see what I'm doing next is I'm going to insert another video to go along with that. So there's my 20-minute timer. Save. Okay, and we'll go ahead and stop here. And so what we've essentially done is we've created a day's worth of instruction right within our Google site. And so you can, the intro video, first 5, and have the timer within the first 5. We have our intro to the activity. Here's the activity that the students will review, and then they have 20 minutes to do it. Okay, and sometimes you might want to do an outro video, something like that at the end, but as the sub, it's very linear. So right here, and then I go here, and then I go here, and then I go here, so on and so forth until the end. And I felt that provides a very structured way to introduce this information. Lesson plans, it's kind of the same deal, right? So I'll click on the pencil once I'm on the lesson plans, click Insert, go to Drive, Document, find my lesson plan for the day, click Select, Save. the lesson plans inserted, and then lastly the seating charts. Let me show you what that will look like. For the seating charts, I actually upload a folder, which you can do from Google Drive. So here's Drive, here's folder, and then I have a folder called seating chart. There it is. And so we'll insert that folder. There's nothing in it currently, but once that's there, it'll show you the contents of the folder. Oh, there you go. So I do have some seating charts there. All right, and so that's kind of it. And so everything that the sub needs is right there. You'll have your additional instructions, emergency procedures, all of that kind of stuff. So that is a very simple website to create, and then you just insert what you need as you need it, and that'll do it. In the next video, what I'm going to cover is setting up a Versal site. So I'll see you guys there.